Have you ever wondered if there's a handgun truly worth buying once and keeping for life, even passing it down to future generations? This isn't about trends or hot items, but about steel, design, and craftsmanship, the things that create a legacy. In the video, the 7 best buy it for life handguns ever made will uncover important specs, real-world durability evidence, reasons each model made the list, along with pros and cons and price, to help you decide if it's really a lifetime investment. Get ready to meet the CZ75B, Ruger GP100, Beretta 92FS, SIG P226, S&W 686, Glock 17, and the legendary 1911 7 handguns tested by time and battlefields. If you value quality over appearance, stay with us. You'll know exactly which one deserves the Buy It for Life label. Seven, CZ75B. Starting from number 7, we have a silent but steadfast contender, the CZ75B. Imagine a black and white scene. In 1975, in a workshop in Czechoslovakia, a design was born, simple yet determined by an engineer's careful touch. When you hold the CZ75B, the first thing you feel is its weight and balance. Not the featherlight type, but the just right weight. The feeling that many shooters call an instant trust. In terms of basic specs, the CZ75B comes chambered in 9-19mm Parabellum, with a barrel length of about 117mm, 4.6 inches, a standard magazine capacity of about 15 rounds, an empty weight of around 900 to 980 grams depending on the version, and an overall length of approximately 205mm. With an all-steel body, the slide is designed inside the frame rather than outside as in many other models, which lowers barrel axis, reduces muzzle rise when firing, and helps the shooter aim more easily during rapid fire. The grip design, with a natural angle and reasonable curvature, makes the gun feel like it was made to fit in the palm of your hand. That's why CZ75's ergonomics are often highlighted more than exaggerated claims. Why is the CZ75B on the 7 best buy it for life handguns ever made list? The answer isn't a single factor, but a combination of materials, craftsmanship, and the era it was created in. Released in an era when engineers prioritized durability over cutting costs, the CZ75B is made with an all-steel frame, precision-machined parts, and easy-to-maintain serviceability. The inside frame slide system and sturdy structure allow this gun to handle tens of thousands of rounds, with many user reports showing that the CZ75 only needs regular cleaning and a few spring replacements to keep functioning like new. This turns it from just a tool into something that can be passed from father to son, meaning buy it for life in its true sense. The advantages of the CZ75B are clear when you describe the experience. Recoil is well absorbed thanks to its steel weight. Accuracy is remarkable due to its low barrel axis and solid build. Ergonomics make continuous shooting more comfortable. And its durability has stood the test of time and harsh environments, with a large maintenance community making parts and repair knowledge easily accessible. The disadvantages are also evident because nothing is perfect. Its weight and size make the CZ75B less than ideal for daily concealed carry. The double-action trigger can feel heavy and take time to get used to for beginners, and compared to modern polymer models, it's noticeably heavier. As for cost, based on the current market, a new CZ75B usually costs between $600 and $750, a price that reflects the quality of materials and lifespan. You're paying for durability, not short-lived flashiness. In terms of tone, if this segment were part of a video script, the accompanying visuals could show a close-up of a hand clearing dust from the slide, with a workshop scene in the background, interspersed with clips of users shooting thousands of rounds, while the gun continues to perform flawlessly. The voiceover should maintain a steady pace, not too technical to lose the audience, but detailed enough for gun enthusiasts to understand why the CZ75B is considered one of the buy-it-for-life handguns, simply because it was designed and crafted to endure. 6. Ruger GP100. Next, we shift to a revolver known for being a heavy-duty workhorse in the world of firearms, the Ruger GP100. The opening scene could have the sound of metal clinking in a factory, with backlighting on precisely machined details. The GP100 isn't here to seduce with gloss, but to survive day in and day out, year after year. In terms of basic specs, the GP100 is usually chambered in .357 Magnum, with versions having barrel lengths of 3 inches, 4.2 inches, and 6 inches. Some variants come in 2.5 inches, 5 inches depending on the model. A common capacity of 6 rounds. Some special models have 7. A stainless steel frame and major components. A weight of around 40 ounces, about 1.13 kilos, depending on the configuration, and a sight system consisting of a front ramp and an adjustable rear. These numbers aren't just data. They explain much of how the GP100 feels in the hand. Heavy enough to tame the .357 recoil, solid enough to prevent wobbling after thousands of rounds. The reason the Ruger GP100 makes the 7 best buy-it-for-life handguns ever made list is rooted in its design philosophy and real-world performance. Bill Ruger wanted an overbuilt gun, meaning sturdy, reinforced at key stress points, and simplified maintenance. The GP100 applies a modular structure with 3 main components that allow quick disassembly and maintenance, and features like the reinforced forcing cone, top strap, and multi-point cylinder lock system, ensuring the cylinder stays aligned when locked, make it capable of handling the intense shooting that many lighter revolvers can't withstand. This isn't an exaggeration. Technical documents and longtime users confirm that the GP100 can handle thousands of .357 rounds if given basic care, with replaceable parts when necessary. The combination of reinforced design, stainless steel materials, and the make-it-tough philosophy makes the GP100 a buy-it-once, use-it-for-years item. When describing the shooting and usage experience, the GP100 feels practical. A heavy but smooth double-action trigger, a single action point that can be fine-tuned for accuracy, and its weight helps prevent your hands from tiring during long sessions of .357 fire. In real-life or outdoor settings, what you need is a gun that can handle powerful rounds, endure harsh weather, and still operate consistently. The GP100 does all that. However, no weapon is perfect. Its steel frame makes it impractical for all-day concealed carry. The 6-round capacity means you accept fewer rounds compared to larger capacity semi-autos. And compared to more showroom fine revolvers, the GP100's appearance leans more toward function than decoration. All of this is balanced by an affordable ownership cost. Depending on the model and production year, the suggested retail price, MSRP, for GP100 models usually ranges from just under $1,000 to around $1,200 for special or match versions. But the actual market price can be lower or fluctuate. Many sources compiling current prices show that the average price for new used models varies over time. In short, like a storytelling line, the Ruger GP100 doesn't need to prove it's tough. It proves it by surviving. If you want a revolver that you can toss into your gear bag, use in the wilderness, loan to your kid, and still retain its value when passed down, the GP100 is a practical contender. No frills, no overpromising, just a block of steel designed to work, and work very well for years. 5. Beretta 92FS. And here we stop before an icon, a handgun that left the Italian factory, traveled the world, and appeared on battlefields and the silver screen. The opening scene for this segment could involve the cold metallic sound of the slide slamming open, a spent casing flying far, and the footsteps of soldiers in the dark. Because the 92FS is not just a handgun, it is a historical standard. As for the basic specs that everyone cares about, the Beretta 92FS, related to the M9, is typically chambered in 9K 19mm parabellum, with a barrel length of about 4.9 inches, approximately 125 millimeters, an overall length of about 8.5 inches, an empty weight of approximately 33.3 Oz, around 945 grain, and a standard magazine capacity of 15 + 1 rounds. The open top slide design and full metal frame provide a longer sight radius, a more solid hand feel, and greater material durability compared to many modern polymer models. Why is the Beretta 92FS on the 7 best buy it for life handguns ever made list? The reason lies in its combination of a proven service record, mature mechanical design, and the ability to withstand harsh environments. When the US military selected this model to become the M9 in the mid-1980s, it wasn't just because of one feature, but because of an overall package: stable operation, easy maintenance, and resilience to extreme tests, from extreme temperatures, saltwater immersion, to impact. In historical tests and combat reports, the 92FS M9 demonstrated a mean rounds between failures, MRBF, rate that many armed forces find suitable for a soldier's life. And a series of supply contracts with the US military over decades proved that trust. These qualities make the 92FS a reliable choice for buying once and believing it will serve you, and possibly more, for many years. Using the 92FS is a story of confidence. When you lock the slide, feel a balanced slide. And the longer barrel to target distance, you know you have the ability to shoot accurately at medium range. When firing continuously, the weight of the metal helps reduce recoil and keeps your aiming steady. When maintaining, the basic structure is easy to disassemble, and parts replacement is straightforward. Of course, nothing is perfect. The grip of the 92FS is quite large for people with smaller hands, which can cause difficulty for those with small hands. The full metal design makes it considerably heavier than modern polymer pistols if you need to carry it concealed all day. And over the decades, some reports of slide issues in the early production batches led Beretta to make design changes to increase durability after technical investigation. However, these improvements only add to the reason to consider the 92FS a long-term investment. The advantages of the 92FS stand out in all situations. Reliability proven through military use. A longer sight radius for more accurate aiming, a solid hand feel ensuring smoother recoil, and an easy-to-maintain design that helps extend the lifespan. The drawbacks come from the same design origins. Its size and weight are not friendly for concealed carry. The metal frame requires more serious maintenance compared to polymer frames. And with modern needs, many prefer striker-fired systems or more compact frames. As for the price, depending on condition and variant, like stainless steel or military version, a new 92FS on the market typically falls in the range of $600 to $750 based on retail price market value. And weapon pricing websites indicate that the average price for a new 92FS is about $670, with fluctuation over time and availability. The writing here aims to follow the script's rhythm, telling a historical story, citing specs to convince viewers that the 92FS is not the trendiest option today, but a statement of durability. If you're looking for a handgun that can withstand military duty, heavy training, or become a family heirloom, the Beretta 92FS still stands strong as a contender. Not necessarily perfect for every role, but hard to deny its place in the buy it for life list. 4. SIG Sauer P226. This is a story about steel elegance and cold precision. A handgun that, when you look at its metal angles and cuts, you can feel it represents a professional standard, not just an accessory. If the section on the CZ75B was poetry about traditional steel, then the section on the P226 is a technical symphony. Born in the early 1980s, the P226 was an ambitious gun designed to compete on a global military scale, with an alloy frame, steel slide, and a construction optimized for both durability and shooting comfort. In terms of real specs, the P226 is typically chambered in 9x19mm parabellum, with variants in 40 S&W, 357 SIG, and several other versions. With an overall length of around 196 meters, a barrel length of approximately 112 meters, an empty weight of about 964 grams, and a standard magazine capacity that can range from 15 to 17 rounds depending on the variant. These numbers aren't just data. They explain why the P226 feels full in the hand. Heavy enough to reduce recoil, large enough to provide stability during continuous shooting. The reason the P226 is on the 7 best buy it for life handguns ever made list isn't a boastful claim, but a combination of combat history, real-world testing, and the trust of those who have staked their lives on it. The P226 was chosen by elite military units, most notably the U.S. Navy SEALs, who have carried the Mk25 variant for decades due to its reliability, resistance to corrosion in maritime environments, and performance under combat pressure. That's rare proof of a design surviving the harshest conditions. When these units placed their trust in the P226, it wasn't because of advertising, but because it had proven its ability to handle tens of thousands of rounds in the hands of professional shooters, making it a true buy-it-for-life contender. Using the P226 feels like working with a finely tuned tool. The double-action trigger gives a safe, controlled feeling initially, and switching to single action delivers a clean, precise press. The rail, slide, and frame construction help maintain steady aim, and the meticulous manufacturing allows many P226 models to last for decades with regular maintenance. In practical terms, the advantages are high mechanical accuracy, reliable performance in extreme conditions, good ergonomics, and a wide range of parts and post-sale support. The drawbacks are practical. Compared to modern polymer pistols, the P226 is heavier and bulkier, making it less suitable for everyday concealed carry. The ownership cost, especially for special editions like X5 or Mk25, can be higher than many competitors in the same category. And for some, the DASA system requires training to fully take advantage of it. In terms of pricing, something many consider when thinking about buying once, the current market shows that the price of a new P226 fluctuates based on the variant and condition, with standard versions typically starting around $1,000 or more for higher-end models. The average price for new used models shows fluctuation depending on availability and market conditions, but generally reflects the P226's status as a premium handgun rather than a budget option. If you invest in a quality P226 from the manufacturer, or a version like the Mk25 made for harsh environments, you're buying a tool that many professional shooters believe will outlast most market models, as long as you're willing to accept the weight and cost for that durability. The writing style for this segment aims to be formal, but concise, like a review in a script, guiding the viewer through the specs, explaining why it's on the list with historical evidence, and then concluding with the real-world experience and financial considerations, all aimed at helping the viewer understand why the P226 is not just a good handgun, but a long-term choice if your lifestyle and needs align with what it offers. 3. Smith & Wesson Model 686. And now, we stand before a revolver that embodies American craftsmanship, forged through time. The 686 is not the kind of gun you buy to show off. It's the kind you buy to use, maintain, keep, and pass down. The opening scene for this segment could be sunlight shining on the stainless steel surface, the sound of the cylinder lock opening and closing, and the image of a gunsmith wiping the grooves clean after a long shooting session. These details speak to the essence of the 686, practical, durable, and designed to withstand the test of time. In terms of basic specs, the Model 686 was introduced in 1981, based on Smith & Wesson's L-frame, designed to handle the power of the .357 Magnum cartridge, while still being more compact than the larger N-frame models. It offers barrel lengths ranging from 2.5 inches to 8 inches, with the standard version typically being 4 inches. The weight varies depending on the version, with the medium-size version weighing around 40.3 ounces, about 1.14 kilograms, and holding a 6-round cylinder, while the 686 Plus variant features a 7-round cylinder. The full stainless steel construction helps resist corrosion and is easy to maintain over time. The reason the 686 made it onto the 7 best buy it for life handguns ever made list isn't due to a legend, but rather because of a rare balance between durability, practicality, and adaptability over time. Smith & Wesson created the L-frame to address issues faced by the K-frame when repeatedly firing Magnum rounds. The result is a frame that's just strong enough at critical stress points, with precise machining and a service record in law enforcement, sport shooting, and hunting that has earned it respect. Many shooters report that a 686, with regular care, cleaning, timing checks, and replacing springs as needed, can last for decades, still retaining its accuracy and reliability for heavy-duty tasks. Variants like the Performance Center or Mountain Gun models prove that this platform can be upgraded for everything from the shooting range to the rugged outdoors. When experiencing the 686, you can feel the solidness in every shot. The smooth but heavy double-action trigger. The single action point that can be fine-tuned for accuracy. And the recoil being absorbed thanks to the weight and full underlug construction. The 686's versatility is one of its main advantages. You can load it with .357 for power or .38 special for practice. The stainless steel reduces concerns about rust. Many variants allow users to choose barrel lengths, grips, and competitive upgrades. The drawbacks are fairly logical. Its weight makes it less than ideal for concealed carry. The 6-round capacity, or 7 in the Plus version, is less than that of higher capacity semi-automatic pistols. And with the high round count, a few rare examples may show timing issues that require adjustment by a skilled gunsmith. As for pricing, a practical factor when considering buying once, the current market shows that the new standard versions of the Model 686 and 686 Plus usually range from under $1,000 to about $1,200 for special versions like the Mountain Gun or Performance Center. Used prices fluctuate widely, but still hold good value due to their durability and reputation. This means that when you invest in a quality 686, you're paying for a metal frame that can last, is easy to maintain, and remains reliable. A high initial cost that rewards you with many years of use and the ability to pass it on. If this segment were a voiceover for a video, you might lower the volume when talking about the history, speed it up when describing the shooting experience, and close with an image of someone handing down the revolver to the next generation. That's the message. The Smith & Wesson 686 is not only durable, but it's a lifetime tool, something that can be bought once and used for decades. 2. Glock 17. And now the story shifts to a simple yet profound revolution. A handgun that doesn't try to impress the audience with ornate details, but instead conquers the world with sheer functionality. Let's start with a real-world test. A Glock 17 buried in sand, poured with water, frozen, and then run over by a truck. When the tester picks it up, pulls the trigger, and fires, the gun still works. That's not a myth, but a testament to its design. Regarding the basic specs that viewers care about, the Glock 17 is typically chambered in 919mm parabellum, with a barrel length of about 114mm, 449 inches, an overall length of about 202 mm, around 7.95 inches, an empty weight ranging around 625 grams depending on the generation, and a standard magazine capacity of 17 + 1 rounds. The lightweight polymer frame, simple striker-fired system without an exposed hammer, and minimalistic internal parts design make the Glock easy to produce and easy to maintain, the foundation for its long-term durability. Why is the Glock 17 on the 7 best buy it for life handguns ever made list? The answer lies in the combination of basic efficiency, proven history, and the massive aftermarket parts ecosystem. When Gaston Glock introduced the design in the early 1980s, many mocked the idea of a plastic gun. The reality quickly shut that down. The Glock 17 quickly proved it could handle conditions that traditional designs struggled to overcome. From dirt, mud, saltwater, to heavy impacts. The design philosophy focuses on minimizing parts that can break, simple geometry that's easy to machine, and the rust-resistant polymer material, making it a tool that doesn't require extreme care to keep functioning well for years. On top of that, the massive production volume and the compatibility with aftermarket parts make restoring, upgrading, or finding replacement parts almost a lifelong process. A key factor when considering buy it once, use it forever. When you first hold the Glock 17 in your hand, you feel something called practicality. A lightweight gun that's easy to carry, with a higher round capacity than most models of its time, and a mechanical operation that's extremely simple. In the shooting experience, its standout advantage is the nearly indestructible reliability. You can subject it to harsh environmental tests, and the gun will still function. The larger capacity gives you more time in combat, and the aftermarket parts ecosystem and support make maintenance or upgrades a breeze. However, nothing is perfect. The drawbacks of the Glock are evident in two main areas: the natural form and the feel of the trigger. The Glock's ergonomics spark debate due to the grip angle and size not fitting some users, requiring a grip replacement or insert for a better fit. The factory trigger is often described as okay, but lacks the smoothness that many shooters seek, prompting them to look for aftermarket triggers to improve the feel. Also, while the Glock is accurate for service-level shooting, those seeking top-tier accuracy for competitive shooting or long-range precision might find they need to adjust the sights or barrel. As for the price, a practical consideration when thinking about buying once, the Glock 17 is usually priced more affordably than other heavy metal service guns or premium models. The suggested retail price typically ranges from $500–600 for the standard model, making it a reasonable investment. For that price, you get a proven design, easy repairability, and the ability to maintain performance for many years. When narrating this in a script, the tone can drop when describing the extreme tests the Glock has passed, and speed up when highlighting its practical advantages. It's a handgun whose buy it once, use it forever promise isn't just a marketing slogan, but a commitment proven over millions of hours of real-world use. 1. 1911. And now it's time for the entire story to pause and pay homage to a legend. The opening scene might look like a documentary, a wooden room with sunlight streaming across the polished steel surface, an old hand pulling the 1911 from a safe, gently brushing its grip and setting it down on the table. That moment encapsulates what decades of history have carved into the metal. The 1911 is not just a handgun, it is an icon, a design that has survived through time. Regarding the actual specs that viewers need to know, the original and most of the commonly produced models are chambered in .45 ACP, with a standard barrel length of 5 inches, 127 millimeters, an overall length of around 8.6 inches, approximately 219 millimeters, an empty weight ranging from 38 to 39 ounces, about 1.07–1.10 kilos, depending on the manufacturer and variant, and the standard magazine capacity being 7 rounds for the single stack .45 mag, with some modern versions having 8-round mags or larger mags if customized. It is a single-action design with a tilting barrel locking mechanism, and its frame and slide are meticulously crafted. All these numbers are not just data, but essential elements that create the feel, sound, and response when you press the trigger, an experience that many shooters call the golden trigger. Why does the 1911 sit at the top of the list in the 7 best buy it for life handguns ever made? The reason lies in the perfect harmony of outstanding design, battlefield history, and its ability to evolve over time. Designed by John Moses Browning and officially adopted by the U.S. military in 1911, this model has accompanied soldiers through 2 world wars, the Korean War, Vietnam, and many other conflicts. Battlefield experience has shown that the 1911's structure, mechanism, and shooting feel hold value, not just as a weapon, but as a reliable tool in the hands of those familiar with it. Furthermore, the 1911 is the foundation for a customization culture. From mass-produced models like Colt and Springfield Armory to custom versions handcrafted by the best gunsmiths, the 1911 proves that if you care for and maintain it, cleaning, replacing springs, adjusting the fit, it can outlast its original owner and become a family heirloom. This is exactly what buy it for life means. Buy it once, use it for a lifetime, and if you want, pass it on. The experience of holding and shooting a 1911 is something few modern handguns can fully replicate. When you place your finger on the trigger, the short, crisp, single-action trigger pull is a form of perfection in shooting control. The frame is slimmer compared to many other .45s, making concealment relatively easier. The long sight radius and the construction make shooting tighter groups more accurate. The clear advantages are the single-action trigger, which many shooters consider the gold standard for accuracy. The classic frame design and steel materials offer a timeless feel, sound, and durability. The virtually endless customization possibilities allow buyers to choose from basic production models to competition, hunting, or collectible versions. The historical reputation and the potential to become an heirloom add emotional value far beyond the purchase price. However, the 1911 is not without its drawbacks. The standard magazine capacity of just 7 to 8 rounds is a disadvantage compared to modern high-capacity pistols. The single-action mechanism requires the user to follow strict safety protocols and undergo some training. Some original models require more meticulous maintenance and are more sensitive to the type of oil or lubricants compared to some modern polymer designs. And if you want a 1911 that achieves maximum durability, the cost for a high-quality or custom version can easily run into several $1,000s. As for pricing, a practical consideration when thinking buy once, entry-level production models, like those from manufacturers like Springfield Armory or other entry-level models, usually start around $800. This threshold fluctuates depending on the market, variants, and sales strategies. If you're seeking a higher quality 1911 from reputable brands or custom-built at professional workshops, the price can easily climb into the thousands, sometimes higher for unique or handcrafted versions. But this price disparity reflects the reality. You can buy a cheaper 1911, but if the goal is buy it once for a lifetime, many choose to invest in a higher quality version, in exchange for the craftsmanship, durability, and shooting experience that will last their lifetime. If this segment were the closing voiceover for a video series, the tone could drop as it talks about the history. Then warm up when mentioning the idea of passing down a 1911 across generations. That's the essence. The 1911 doesn't top the list because of age or numbers, but because it connects craftsmanship with emotion. It's the handgun that makes people think of skill, tradition, and resilience. A gun you can truly buy and pass down to future generations. And that's the 7 handguns that have withstood the test of time. Names worthy of the Buy It for Life label. From the metal elegance of the 1911 to the uncompromising practicality of the Glock 17. From the rugged durability of the Ruger and S&W revolvers to the enduring service instinct of the Beretta, SIG, and CZ. Each one tells a story of engineering, material choices, and craftsmanship, the factors that transform a tool into a legacy. The decision of which handgun to place your trust in depends on your needs, lifestyle, and standards. Some people need pure reliability for a mission, others want a family heirloom to pass down, and some consider the balance between investment cost and daily usability. Which one do you think fits best for buying once and using for life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your choice and the reasons behind it. If you found this video helpful, share it with a fellow enthusiast, and don't forget to subscribe to catch our future analyses. Stay safe, always follow the laws and regulations for firearm use where you live. And we'll see you next time on Pistol 19.